Xavien, how are you?
Hello, how you doing?
Doing well. Anyone has a question, go ahead and drop your name in the chat. We can get started.
Oh, it's cold in here. I'm sorry.
Joel, you can go ahead.
Xavier, when you think back on yesterday, what do you think stuck out about the way the Broncos kind of attacked you?
Um, they attacked me with a lot of quick stuff, quick slants and stuff like now routes. I knew a team was going to attack me. 'Cause early on in the season, I've been off a little minute, so I knew guys want to see if I still can play and stuff like that. And just on this side, just taking accountability of just, I just got to do my job and work on my technique.
Kevin.
X, when you saw the penalties, was there a constant theme there with you? Was it a technique thing or anything when you went back on film and saw the penalties on you?
Um, I wouldn't say it was a technique. I feel like some of the calls was in the air, but I gotta do my job and not put it in the referee hands to make that call.
Jake, go ahead.
At this point in your career, when you have a day like where stuff just kind of starts rolling in the wrong way, how quickly do you get past that and just kind of flush that one behind and move on to the next matchup?
That's how I work, man. I feel like as a cornerback, gotta have a short term memory, just like the quarterbacks. Plays gonna happen. You just gotta move on and keep going.
X, I did see Lou came over and kind of put his arm around you, I think after that drive. Do you remember, obviously your guys' relationship goes back. Do you remember what he said to you on the sidelines there?
Just holding me accountable. Telling me, work on my hands and stuff like that. With the calls I was getting is getting thrown on me. So just telling me I gotta work on my technique and stuff like that. Really.
Just recapping the game, obviously a big win for us at home. Going back through the tape, looking at everything, I thought our guys played hard. Looking back at the end of the game there, going back through it, obviously getting the first down there with Alec, probably should have been more aggressive there. Got a lot of faith in Spence to make a kick, but don't want to put him in those situations from that deep. We had 3 timeouts, probably could have thrown the ball on second or third down there in that situation to get it closer to a field goal. So learn from that. Obviously, don't want to do that to our guys again. But obviously, we had found a way to win there, thankfully. But our guys played hard. It was good. Got no injury updates from the game. But Mooney and Law too, they're progressing well. So we'll see how this week plays out.
JJ, go ahead with your question.
Hey Shane, what did you see from JT in terms of his pass protection yesterday?
I thought he did some really good things. They brought a lot of pressure there. I thought he stepped up, fit up his blocks pretty darn good. So that was good to see from that standpoint. Obviously, he ran the ball hard, but the pass protection was pretty solid when he had to make his one-on-one blocks there.
Something he said is that Daniel's been kind of a good bridge between the O-line and him in terms of getting those looks right. Do you just see that group kind of collectively being on the same page there?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that starts in our blitz meetings in the morning, and then we go out to walk through and go through all the pressures and walk through all the different looks that we could get. Then obviously get them live in practice, and there's a lot of communication that goes on during that week preparation, and everyone being on the same page in the communication is big. So I think it all starts up front, and Daniel and obviously the backs communicating at a high level there.
Kevin.
Shane, what kind of changed your tune from, not wanting them to get a kick return versus saying you would have been more aggressive in hindsight?
Well, I think we still could have been aggressive without them getting the return. They had no timeouts. So I could have been aggressive, stay in bounds with the throw, whatever it may have been, stay in bounds, and then bleed the clock down there in that situation.
And then with Daniel through 2 weeks, what do you think has been the most impressive element to his individual play?
I think the consistency that he brings, his preparation, and it's coming to life on the field on Sundays. He works at it. I think he's doing a really nice job of going through his reads, If the first read's not there, he's getting to his second, third reads, and the offensive line's doing a hell of a job for him. I think he's communicating well with the receivers throughout the week. Different looks that could come up, route adjustments, all those different things throughout the course of a week of preparation. And then to see it happen on Sundays has been good. So we got to continue that.
Steven.
Hey Shane, Daniels, he's not a kid. He's been playing a long time, but is there something to be said for, I don't know, just the confidence that comes when you start to have some success, and particularly like in back-to-back games the way he's had. I don't know. Do you see any trend there with him?
Yeah, for sure. I think when you start playing at a high level, obviously your confidence grows and builds, not with just Daniel, with just any player. And obviously we want to continue that trend each and every week. And he's been doing a hell of a job. So we got to continue that this week. The preparation is going to be a big part of it.
And to kind of elaborate on that, I mean, some of the contested throws yesterday, you knew you would have some, and he threw. I mean, there were some tight windows, like the couple against Surtain. It takes some guts to throw some of those balls. I mean, what did you see on those?
Yeah, I thought it was huge. I think we had five on Sertan that were one-on-ones where the coverage took him to him, and our guys won. I think AD won on a route there, Alec won on a route, third down where Warren ran on he won on a corner route where they adjusted the coverage and two lined up on him there, and it was good. And then Pitt went one on a slant there too on a one-on-one. So. I thought the receivers did a heck of a job when that opportunity presented itself of stepping up and making those plays, and him obviously delivering, nice passes with accuracy in those situations.
Joel.
Shane, when a guy has a rough game like Xavien Howard did yesterday, how do you guys evaluate that, and what do you think about it going forward?
Yeah, I think you learn from it and grow from it. Obviously, he's a veteran player that's played high level in this league for a long time. We get it corrected today and we move forward. I got a lot of faith in his abilities. He's been a good player in this league for a long time, and we'll get it corrected, and we'll go from there.
James.
Shane, when you self-evaluate, how collaborative is that? I know self-evaluate kind of makes it seem like it's just you, but who else are you leaning on to be like, okay, well, maybe I could have did X, Y, Z better or worse or whatever?
Yeah, I talked to a lot of guys. I talked to our offensive staff, mostly when it comes to the offensive stuff. But that's the main thing. It's obviously situational football. We have situational meetings. We talk through certain things each and every week. So it's a collaborative effort with the offensive staff, and we go from there.
And then one follow-up, we're seeing JT obviously in his prime right now. What do you think of just his ability to kind of affect the game in so many different ways, whether it's, I saw a couple of like really stand-up pass blocking protection, moments yesterday, the breakout run, the catches, like what is it about him that kind of gives you that ability to be that diverse with him?
I think it's kind of what you said a little bit. It's all of it. His consistency on a week in and week out basis. I think, that big run he hit down there, obviously it was a big block by Pitt there to get it going, but then to be able to have that jump cut and that vision in that situation, and then the burst and the speed and the power to pop through the hole was huge. And then obviously getting him going in the pass game a little bit. We had obviously hit him on a touchdown there, got a certain look that we were looking for and got it. And that was huge. And then obviously, Daniel finding him on checkdowns is big, and then stepping up in the pass protection. That's the preparation that goes into it every week. And like I said, he's been a consistent player here for a long time. And he's continued to grow and develop, each and every week and every year that he's in this league.
We'll do a couple more here. Jake, go ahead.
Yeah, so you guys have 2 wins so far in the AFC and then your first divisional game coming up. What's the message you kind of stress to the guys all week this week with some pretty meaningful games happening this early in the season?
Yeah, I kind of hit him today after the team meeting, just going through the game review. And I told you guys this yesterday. It's just the discipline aspect. We got to be disciplined in our process and our approach. Obviously, you want to win championships. They start into the division. And we got a division opponent this week on the road, a tough opponent. Obviously, when you play division games, there are going to be battles every week, like every game in this league is. So we got to prepare the right way, mentally, physically, make sure we're on the details and stay disciplined in everything we do.
And last question here, we'll go with Joel.
Do you need to manage JT's workload at all?
We'll work through that. Obviously, he's feeling good right now. When he needs a breather, we'll give him a breather. But he's feeling good right now. So we'll see how it goes.
Is that really kind of the defining factor is how he feels? He's a little bit of a different back in that, a lot of teams don't have that guy, so they mix it up for other reasons.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, he's our go-to guy. And we need to play a big play. Obviously, he'll probably be the guy in there for us.
Jake, you can ask your last question.
Got a random one for you. In the offseason, you were pretty outspoken in your support of the Pacers and kind of the local sports going on. A lot of Pacers there yesterday. I think there was some IndyCar. Caitlin Clark shouted you guys out after the win. What does that mean to you for all of these teams, like in the community, to kind of be coming together and supporting each other?
I think it's awesome. Anytime all the professional sports can support each other through their certain seasons and come out and show that, support and cheer on the other teams, I think it's huge. I think the players love it. The fans love it. It's a lot of camaraderie back and forth. So it's great. It's, vice versa with us, cheering on the Pacers, the Fever, all that. So to have those players come out and support us, it means a lot.
That's what we've got for today. Thanks, Coach.
All right, guys. Appreciate you.
Tanner, how are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing well. If you guys want to go ahead and drop your name in the chat, if you have any questions, James, we can start with you.
Tanner, JT is always very complimentary of you, being a Wisconsin guy like him. But on a more serious note, what is it like to block for a back who can make you right on any play? Like, obviously, you want to scheme things up well, and you all have to a degree, but there are some plays where he just does stuff that normal humans or even normal running backs probably can't do.
No, it's huge because you gotta in football, not everything's always gonna be perfect. And the guys across from us get paid too. So they're gonna make plays, they're gonna have their moments where they beat us. And obviously we never want that to happen. But JT does a good job in those situations of making us right, making a guy miss, and even on a play that should be 0 yards, we're able to get 4 or 5. And it's huge like that to have that efficiency in an offense and to have a guy back there that can take any given run to the house or, break one for 60 that could be a 7 yard gain is always really important for an offense. And we really appreciate him.
Joel.
What's it been like dealing with these blitz happy packages that you guys kind of keep running into early in the season?
I think it's always something that's a challenge to work through, but it's always a good sign that, they don't feel comfortable enough to just kind of play it straight up where, I think as an offense, we're doing a good job of moving the ball, especially in the first half. I feel like we're able to consistently get drives put together, move the ball downfield, and then they have to kind of change things up to try and find a way to stop us. And so we get a lot of different blitzes, little variations, and we go on the sideline, make adjustments, but I think, it's just something we work through as an offense. And I think it's obviously not always the easiest thing to deal with, but I think teams are going to continue to do it going forward. And if we're going to continue to win games, it's something we're going to have to be able to pick up.
How much of it, I mean, obviously there's the identification piece, but how much of it is just Daniel, knowing where he's got to go with the ball if somebody comes free on something?
It's huge. Knowing where your hot is, knowing where there's going to be like certain places like, hey, there's a guy free. There's nothing we can do about it. It's cover zero. And Daniel's always very good at knowing where that guy is going to be, knowing where his throw or his read is going to be, where he can hit that guy in stride, and we can get a first down on a play that's not always easy to pick up.
James.
Tanner, I know Shane is you all's play caller. What is it like playing for a guy who can be that creative? Because there are times when I go back and watch it and I'm like, wait, that's how that happened? So what is it like for you when you're installing things? You kind of know like we're always going to have something that we can turn to that could give us an advantage.
It's great. Shane's always got something kind of cooking back there where every week he's like, I got this idea on something we can do. And he kind of draws it up and it's like, okay, like that could work. And it's always cool to see those plays that he draws up. Just the ways he's creative and the ideas that he has that are outside the box. I think that's what makes him unique as a play caller is that, he puts the defense in situations they don't want to be put in. And that's always really, really huge as an offense where it puts pressure on the defense for us. And it's always exciting where we can give it a bunch of different looks, a bunch of different ways, show them one thing, do another. And Shane's very, very good at doing that.
You interested in lining up in the Wildcat at all? Or you cool on the line of scrimmage?
You're asking him, I stand up in the
Yeah,
wild?
yeah. If he's creative, I'm just
Hey,
asking.
if he ever puts me back there, I'll make sure we score. That's a promise from me. I think any big guy that's ever gotten the ball will guarantee that they can score. Whether that's true or not, is to be seen. But I'd love a package like that. But no expectations of it.
Appreciate it.
Pinter has a touchdown catch in his career, right?
I do. That is a highlight. He's got a little video of it out there, and that's awesome. So maybe we'll find a way to get him back in on one of those.
Do a few more here, Joel.
Quentin, had that one play where they sent him out. It kind of looked like he was telling the ref, "You can't send me out of that." Is that kind of where that was going, or?
I think the one you're referring to, he got cut on a screen.
Yeah.
And he was pretty upset about that. You can't cut in space anymore from a defensive standpoint or an offensive standpoint. You can't cut either way. And he got cut, and he was pretty upset that there was a no call. He's like, how can you allow this to happen? Like, it happened to him last year as well. So it's the second time it's gone uncalled, and I think he got a little upset about that, which is reasonably so. You don't want to get a big time injury from something like that that's easily preventable.
When Quentin does get, dinged up, it just seems like over the course of his time here that he's just furious until he can get back in there. Is that kind of how it is on the sideline?
Absolutely. And it just shows you how much he cares, how much he wants to play, be out there for this team. There's no injury that if he's not going to play, it's pretty serious, and it's bad, where he'll try to play through anything that he can. He loves to be out there. He loves this team. He loves to win. I think you saw it yesterday. He's willing to do whatever it takes to get out there and put this team in a position to be successful. And it's always great having a guy like that around who you can tell cares that much, especially at the level that he's at.